everyone. My name is Kayla, and today I'm going to be interviewing Ekhi from Direct Kinetics Solutions. How are you, Ekhi?
Hi, Kayla. I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you so much for joining us today in this interview. So let's kick it off by asking a little bit about your startup, Direct Kinetics Solutions, and how you're contributing to decarbonization.
No, absolutely. Thanks for asking that. At DKS, we're trying to solve a problem that's ever present, and that's that your portable devices will run out of power. For consumers, we live it every day. We need to charge our phones and our smartwatches to make sure that they perform the functions we want them to perform. But think of all the devices that don't have this luxury. When we're monitoring vast terrains, when we are tracking endangered species, those devices rely on chemical batteries. And with the technology that we have today, we can get between 6 months to a year of use out of them. Then we need to move vehicles to perform maintenance. Sometimes we put people in danger because, again, these devices are located in remote, austere, and hostile environments. And we're trying to solve that. And the way that we do it is we develop these persistent power sources, which, as you can see, are about the size of a stamp. They will generate power reliably, safely, and predictably for decades. And what that allows us to do is make sure that those batteries are saved for when critical operations are needed, and your devices will be able to operate maintenance-free for extended periods of time, which allows us to minimize waste in the form of empty batteries, unnecessary maintenance trips, and just by minimizing the maintenance, we also minimize the need to discard devices as frequently as we do now.
Wow, that sounds very impactful. Thank you for sharing. What would you say was the inspiration behind building this startup?
Wow, that's a good question. So for me personally, before founding DKS, I actually worked at a company that did hardware as a service. And previously, I worked for Intel. So I saw the impact that IoT was going to have in the way that we live. We want sensors everywhere. We want to know how our machines are performing, where our devices are, and it's just going to become ubiquitous. And when I did the hardware as a service, I saw that the biggest challenge was keeping the devices operating for long. Customers were delighted with the service because they could see where their tools and their assets were and how they were working. But the fact that they needed to replace the tracking device because of a dead battery or because it got damaged was really a pain point. And when we came across this technology, I saw an opportunity to not only be a part of the IoT ecosystem, which was exploding, but also solve the problem of the battery. So for me, just as you mentioned, the sheer potential impact of the technology is what drove me to it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So during the past 2 months, working with SBC and our corporate partners, Mitsubishi and NYK Line, what are some of the biggest things you have achieved?
I think that the biggest achievement is the connection with the potential customer. And for me personally, it's always all about the customer. I know that I can have the best technology in the world, but if it's not solving a pain point that's world solving, it's really worthless. And through this program, I was able to connect with both Mitsubishi and NYK, find use cases on the energy sector, as well as on the shipping industry. Both cases are very impactful. They can lead our customer to have better productivity and achieve their goals while also advancing our ability to keep developing the technology and grow our customer portfolio.
Right, that's good to hear. Thank you for sharing. What is one change you want to see in the energy industry by 2030?
Oh, wow. That's a loaded question. So I'm obviously very biased, but I honestly think that nuclear is the future. Perhaps nuclear, the way that we use it in terms of capturing the decay, but also nuclear in big power plants and generating grid level capacity. I don't know that we will be able to manage nuclear to a point where we can use a small reactor to power a car. If we did, I think that would be fascinating and basically solve all of the decarbonization problems that we have right now. But my number one thing for me is that the better adoption and better understanding of nuclear technology overall, not only on the commercial side, but also from a consumer point of view.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing, Ekhi. We loved learning about Direct Kinetics Solutions today, and we wish you the best in your journey.
No, thank you very much for having me. The program has been a fantastic experience. I highly recommend it, and I'm looking forward to what's next after it.
Yes, so are we. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Kayla. You too.